Yo, what's good, Desi Hip Hop fam? You are tuned in to the Unfiltered Podcast live on Facebook. I'm your host, DJ Raf, live and direct from the US. And today we're having an amazing conversation with multiple Bengali artists from around the world. So thank you for joining, and I'm really excited to introduce these guys to you. First off, I'm just gonna get started. I'm just gonna pull in all of our guests. And so first off, we have Stave Sonata, all the way from New York.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah. Thank you for joining, bro. How are you doing? How's your quarantine?
It's actually pretty good. I'm actually enjoying this vacation.
Hell yeah.
I would call this a mini vacation, until we back to our normal life. Hopefully we get back to our normal life.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's amazing. And without further ado, I want to keep continuing to bring on the next guest. So next up, we have Cizzy from Kolkata, India.
What's up?
Cizzy, what's good, man? Good to see you here. Are you doing
good? Yeah, I'm doing good. It's just that, with the cyclone and corona and everything, I'm just a little bit worried about everything. But yeah, everything's great.
Right. Well, we're happy to have you here, man. Next up, I want to bring on Master D from Canada.
What's going on, everybody?
What's good? Master D's in the building. How are you doing, bro?
Good, man. Good. Just, enjoying the time here. Just nothing but sleeping, eating, music all day long,
That's perfect. That's the dream, right? Okay, cool. So next up, we're bringing on Black Zang from Dhaka, Bangladesh.
What's good? What's good, everybody?
What's good, bro? Good to see you here, man.
How's it going, bro?
Pretty good. I hope you're staying safe in the cyclone and the
crowd. Yeah, man. As usual, man. Yeah. Everything is smooth.
Awesome. Okay, so next up, and our final guest, BeatBaksho from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Was awesome. Good. No. So, to the audience, thank you guys for joining. Just want to give a quick introduction of everybody here. On my right on your screen. Okay, on my right is Stave Sonata from New York. It wouldn't be a proper conversation about music and Bangla rap or hip hop without somebody who's making impact from New York, the birthplace of hip hop. So that's who Stave Sonata is right here. He's an amazing producer. He's been working for many years, and he's done a lot of projects. And so I'm glad to have you here, bro.
Thank you for having me.
Hell yeah. Next to Stave on that side is Cizzy from Kolkata. He's been running game in Kolkata for quite some time. He's having some internet issues, but he'll be right back. He's one of the Bangla rappers from Kolkata who's been grinding it out. There are many other rappers over there in Kolkata making impact, and he's one of the people who's doing it right. And he's back. We'll bring him on. Again, he's having some network issues. But then next to Cizzy, we had Cizzy's back. Everything's shuffled, which is all good. We have Master D next to Stave. Master D has been making global impact for 20 years. It's been a hell of a long time. He was with the group Bills and Kashif for a ton of years. They've toured the world, they've done it all. But then in the past decade, Master D decided to go back to his roots because he's a Bengali originally, living in Canada. So he was like, all right, man, I got to do something for my people. So Master D returned as a Bangla urban artist, and he started to produce and put out hit singles and all of that. So he's been making huge impact for over 2 decades. Under Master D now is Black Zang from Bangladesh, who has been making impact for I don't know what decade, more than that. This year, in fact, no, end of last year, in fact, he celebrated his 10 years in the game by putting out a record called Grateful, where he, talked about how grateful he is for these past 10 years and, excited for the next. So excited to have you here. For those who don't know, Black Zang is also, he's not just a rapper or artist. He's also a TV presenter. He has this hip hop reality show that he's been doing. This season 1 was last year. We were working on season 2 this year, but, we're still working on that. So, and he was also the first radio host for the first radio show, first hip hop radio show in South Asia. This was 5-6 years ago. I don't even remember. This was a long time ago. But he started that. He was the first guy with the radio show.
We started back in 2013, I guess.
2013. So they had a long run between 2013 and now. And it's like, yeah, that's crazy. That's impact right there. And then next to Black Zang in the middle of the screen is BeatBaksho. So this guy is, he's obviously from his name, you understand he's a beatboxer. But other than a beatboxer, he has many other things. He comes from a background of, rock music and also all sorts of different types of genres of music. He's very well known in that type of thing. But then he's also a radio presenter. He's also a TV host. He's many things. This guy is many things. He's extremely talented. But the reason why he's here is because he is very deeply connected to hip hop, especially in Bangladesh. So, I'm glad to have all of you guys here, man. It's like I'm talking so much, but I just had to introduce everybody and make sure that everybody knows what's going on here today. So, how are you guys doing, man? Let's start with D Quarter, Stave Sonata.
I actually doing good. Like I said, I'm enjoying this mini vacation, as I said before. Besides that, everything is good. Making new collaboration, working on new projects, a lot of new upcoming stuff. So I'm like really eager, looking forward to those things, to release those things.
Nice. That's sick. That's the thing that I've been seeing a lot with artists and creatives. It's like this quarantine is like sort of like a blessing,
Yeah.
And it's I guess it's not a full on blessing because people are dying, which is the worst part. But for artists, many artists are just staying at home and just creating their craft, which is just awesome. I love hearing that. I heard a similar comment from Master D. How's it going with you, bro? Like, you're working on a lot of music.
Oh yeah, I've been really doing a lot of music lately, and I've composed 5 new tracks. A to Z already. Many tracks ready to roll too. As soon as this is over, man, it's gonna be history again. So
wow.
So I've been working a lot in the music, and it's been fun, because we have a lot of time right now to really concentrate on what we love to do the most, which is creating music and try to learn new things as well.
Mm-hmm.
New instruments, could be new music. Listening to new stuff out there. So
right.
always good time. Coronavirus, I would say that's a positive side of it.
Right. Yeah, and literally that's all we can do, right? We can just look at the positives. We have no control over this situation. This is completely out of anybody's control. Even Trump is having trouble with that. So
He's out of control completely, bro.
Completely. Okay, Cizzy, man, how have you been in this quarantine? How are you dealing with things?
What's up, man? I'm just, right now I'm dealing with this terrible network connection, but things have been pretty weird out here in the streets. People don't really understand what's going on in the world, and they're trying to deal with their very own understanding. And the main thing that lacks out here, I live in a slum area, and I'm always looking out at people who don't have any clue about what's going on. So they're just going out without any masks and everything. Just chilling out like it's a holiday or something like that. So it's just spreading like a massacre, man. Let's see. I'm just hoping for the best. Let's see, man.
And there's a cyclone as well, right? Coming.
It's actually happening as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how are you dealing with that BeatBaksho? Like what's the situation for you right now?
I think obviously it's the same for me and Zang. But as far as I know, the cyclone kind of went past. But if you're talking about what's happening in Dhaka right now, it's all windy. The weather's pretty bad. But what's really bothersome is not only is this pandemic affecting a lot of people, which is obvious. The weather is kind of like a double extra thing on them, and it's not good.
Right. Yeah,
I really get out of this. We can all get out of this.
Yeah, it's. I imagine it's a little more difficult for a lot of people who are off of work now because of quarantine. But then also there's a cyclone you have to save yourself from, which is intense.
There's so much that it's just surreal, to be honest. Like, what the hell?
Right. And yeah, that's true, man. And how about you, Black Zang? How's quarantine treating you?
I mean, like, it's just surviving, back to the caveman legacy, surviving every day. Every day is counting, and like trying to bringing out best of it.
Right.
What else I can say?
Yeah, it's crazy, but I'm really happy that we're all here together. We're all in different parts of the world. New York, Canada, US for me, Kolkata, Bangladesh, Dhaka, like amazing. Like we're all here together. We're all here with the audience as well. So shout out to the audience for watching, man. I'm seeing your comments. Thank you guys for joining us today. We're just trying to have some fun in quarantine, man. We're just getting really bored of being at home. So here we are. And so without further ado, in this podcast, what we like to do is we like to get to know everybody. We like to get to know everybody on a personal level and have fun while we're doing it. So one of the main things that we do in this podcast is we play games and get to know each other. So without further ado, we're going to play the first game, and it's called Scavenger Hunt. So Scavenger Hunt. This is a game where this is a game called Scavenger Hunt, where we go and ask you to go get something that's memorable in your room or in your house, something that you can share with the audience. Share a story with us. Let us know about this. So, let's get started, guys. Like, bring something from your from your room and show it to the camera, man. I wanna hear some real good story. Who wants to go first? Who's got something? Yeah.
I got mine. I got mine.
Well, I got a couple of things.
Okay.
Each of them with different stories.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. I think BeatBaksho has something already. So yeah, you can go ahead and start, bro.
Yeah, well, I had something else. Then I realized the biggest story maker here is this thing that I have in my hand. And this made a huge difference to what I'm working with right now. I know all the who are, for example, Recorder and Master D.
Is that a recorder?
Yeah, that's a Zoom.
That's a Zoom recorder, right? Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Why is important, if that's what you're asking, is because I remember getting this when we were at our lowest, right? This is way before we were thinking of what we should do with Bangladesh. And I'm like, you know what? Screw this. I went straight to the shop and I told the guy, like, dude, you know me for a while. I don't have money right now. I need this now. Because most of the beatboxers around the world, they use this to record wherever they are because you don't need to have a studio. This is the studio. And the guy's like, bro, I know what you do. And I paid him back later on without extra money, of course, on point. And this has literally changed us. If I didn't have this that time, I don't think we could have done stuff. We would have been 5 years behind with the community because we could take this anywhere. And I even took this to Taiwan when we went for the Asian Champs. And I could record everything. I had history in my hands. So
nice.
This, I would say this changed a lot for me in the last 5 years.
Nice. Yeah. That's that requires an applause because that's a great story. Like it's the origin story of BeatBaksho as a beatboxer. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, cool. Thanks for sharing. So who's next? Who's got something for us, man? I feel like Black Zang is aching to do something here. He's
You
just
guys are good.
Nah, I mean, like, I'm just waiting, checking around, like, I got
I'll
my
go
thing,
next.
but yeah.
I'll go next.
okay.
All right,
Let's hear
so
it, Steve.
the room I'm sitting in, this is very special room for me because this is my studio. We started this I think right after our first album, and going and building this whole room, it was just like so tough, and we got flooded like at least like I would say like 5 times, and probably if we go one more time I'll be out in the street with a cup, you know. But besides that, it's just like so much memories. I had like so many things in here. Even the first mic where we started recording with, I had it in here. I lost it. It's because of it was on the floor, and as it got flooded, things went sideways. We had to throw it out. I
Wow.
had the first microphone that we started recording with. It was just like this little microphone. It wasn't even like, it was a computer microphone that we had, and we started recording with that. I had that as well, but I lost it. One more thing that I have these headphones right here, right? You can see that they're like ripped, right?
Uh-huh.
So these are Sennheiser. So we had these headphones like when we started this studio, recorded our second album. I think I was like producing, like when I started producing, I was producing on the headphones because we were using some trashy
Mhm.
computer speakers. So I was like, these headphones were the one
Ghetto stuff.
that saved me, right? Exactly. But yeah, this room is very special to me. When I lock everything and I'm in my zone, this is my space,
Wow. That's wonderful. Yeah,
Very
that's
nice.
really cool. Like,
Thank you.
damn. And I know you work with a lot of artists, so I know a lot of artists have been in that room.
Yes, they have.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. So Master D, what you got, bro?
Well, I have quite a bit of stuff that I kept since like long time ago, guys. Like
Mhm.
he probably doesn't even know what a tape deck is. Probably I have all those
Oh, I
plastic
I
tape
know what a
deck.
tape deck
You know
is.
what it is?
I know what it is. I Whoever worked on tape decks, bro, is like the amazing audio engineers in this world.
The
All right.
real OG.
Yeah.
That's right, man.
Exactly.
Right.
But
I,
I'll
I
share
still
this with you guys. This is one of the um, memorable and important awards that as a group we got. It's
Mhm.
um, it's called Bollywood Music and Fashion Award 2007. That's when we released, Two Step Bhangra, which
Mhm.
happened to be the one of the biggest track, the Bills and Kashifs, and it says Trump Taj Mahal Casino.
Ah.
You know what that is, right? Atlantic City.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we won for the best video.
Yeah.
And what happened is that we left in the morning, right? We got to the airport, and next thing you know, they're like, "Sorry, the flight is canceled." We're like, "What? We have to get to the show. We have an award, award show to go to." And they're like, "Sorry, we can't. The flight is canceled. The next flight is like in the evening." I'm like, "We can't. We gotta make it." And
Yeah.
then we had to reroute. So basically, instead of going to Atlantic City, we were rerouted to another state, right?
Mhm.
And then we had a limo guy coming to pick us up from there. It was like a 3-hour drive to the venue after that. So that was like a long drive. But you know what? When we went there and we saw the crowd and the energy, and we put out that vibe, we performed live, and it was just amazing. And then winning this that night was just a memorable, like, memory that I'll always keep with me. And that was special that day.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. Like now from that memory, you have something with Trump's name on it for the rest of your
Exactly, bro. That's I'm like, why? All right. It's all right. It's all good.
life. Yeah, that's perfect. That's a good story. Black Zang, it's your turn, man. Like, what you got?
Yeah, but okay. This is like, I always keep with myself. This is like a bling bling.
Ooh,
I'm saying it's
damn.
like a custom made bling bling Black Zang, and I used it on my first music video, "A Mama A,"
Nice.
10 years back. So
Cool.
I
the
remember that.
story behind this is like, right. The story behind this is like, I bought this with my first payment, and I always wanted to depend on my music. I always wanted to depend on craft, and This was the first thing I started, like, depending on my art and creativity. And yeah, that's how it is. And it's still there, though I don't use it, but it's just a craft that really reminds me how I started. And I think, the rest of the musicians, if they have a craft, really always make remind us where we're from. So I think this is one of that. Reminds me where I'm from.
Right.
Reminds me where
Well,
I'm from.
I gotta applaud to that. This is cool. Like you guys all actually brought really impactful things from your past. Like that's the best part. None of it is just like something lame or
Yeah, man.
it's all very impactful. Um, on that note, like I brought some random stuff, man. Like I couldn't think of what to get, so I just got my the most important things right now that I've been using. Is just the mask, the Bhanga Bangla mask.
Okay.
This has been a very big blessing for me every day, and my earphones because I'm on the phone a lot, man. It's great. Bangla mask. So yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, so I didn't really bring anything as cool as you guys, man. I should have brought some more stuff, but it's all good. This show is not for me, so it's for you. But Cizzy, he's back again. So Cizzy, what you got, man? Do you want to share something with us? Man, I feel sorry for Cizzy. His internet is very in and out today, but that's
Okay. Okay, so I'll just take it back to the beginning.
There we go. See, another guy was bringing back to the beginning.
I'll just take you back to the beginning of my music, and you can see this collection of instruments right here. So,
Oh, nice. I see.
Yeah, what are these instruments? What are they?
yeah, so all of that behind me is the beginning of my musical journey, and that exercise right there was played by my grandfather, who played it in Mahalaya, which is played on every Mahalaya before Durga Puja, biggest Bengali festival. So that is kind of where the musical journey of my family began, and I came into the picture as well. So that is a big memento for me.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah,
Was
yes.
any
Yeah,
of it audible?
yeah, it was. I see. I never knew anything like that about you. So
I don't know if you
we're
can hear me.
already getting to know you better, through this show. Cool, man. Thank you guys for sharing all this shit. This is great. Before we move on to the next game, I just want to ask like Master D a question. Like, you've been in this game for so long, and you shared that award with us. Like, but that award was was a time where you were making a different kind of I wouldn't say different kind of music, but like you were making it was a different time, right? Like that was a while ago. But then you switched and like you decided to pivot, or not really pivot, but like make new types of music and just progress as an artist. Like how has this progress and development as an artist, like how has this gone for you like over the past 10 years?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, listen, I mean, what I used to be and what I am now, it's a huge difference, I find. But the key to success is if you're an artist, you always have to keep on growing. You can't do the same thing and just keep doing the same old thing all the time. You have to be able to do new things and evolve with the sound and with the time too, because people want to listen to different things all the time. Let's say, now it's like what the Latin market, Latin music is big now. So everybody's jumping on reggaeton and doing Afrobeat and all kind of stuff right now, right? But if you just keep doing the same thing, you're just you're basically considering the same pile as everybody else. So always have to like sort of like yes, take the best of it and then keep growing. Do your own, bring your own style to it, and move forward. For me, it was obviously there's a lot of challenges. I mean, when we first started, man, like what 15, 20 years ago,
Yeah.
we were on the first group, came out from North America, and UK people, labels from UK didn't want to give a shit about us. They're like, oh no, if you want to be successful, you have to come to UK and collaborate with labels over there. We're like, hell no. If we can't do it, we'll do it from our own town. We want to represent Canada. We want to represent Montreal.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. And we were the first Desi people to have playing two-step bhangra after like Justin Timberlake and Beyonce. and then opening up for Enrique Iglesias. We opened up for him in a 17,000 people crowd, and people singing two-step bhangra. These are like non-Desi people, man. So you're like, what the hell, So there is something. There's the movement that we did. So it was a struggle because a lot of people didn't believe in us. But from what I see, I've really changed from what I used to be and now, because, like I said, music, you have to keep on changing it, and you have to readapt and we compose new things, and that's been always my my thing, and there's lot more to see. I mean, like Big B, I'll call you Big B, who does the beatbox. He used to do beatboxing. I used to do that in the past as well, and that's something that I incorporated every time we did a show with the Bills and Kashif. We had a breakdown, drop the mic, and it's just like I started doing beatboxing. We started doing like everything on the spot. So there's something that he's doing, which is amazing also, So seeing everybody doing different things, it's just amazing, As long as we don't do the same exact thing everybody at the same time, I mean, that's the sense of music that I'm looking for, and I'm trying to create every day. Black Zang, man, this guy, like I think 2015, bro, that I was we were looking at what's going on in Bangladesh in that milieu, and we found out that BZ was doing great hip hop rap and stuff like that, and he was the first one to do a collabo in one of my track called Desi Chick, and he did a remix to it, So it was fun, and it's like seeing now this generation and where we're going. I think it's beautiful, man. Especially Bengalis right now, we're standing up, and we're pushing that,
Right.
That. We need to keep on doing that. That's the only way. And just another point I'll tell you guys quickly is that Latin market right now, it's independent, meaning they don't require an American company to make them famous. Every time they release a track, it's like it hits 200, 300, 400 million views, right? I mean, they have created their own base. The only way we can do the same thing for our Bengali market is if all of us work together and we all support each other. If we have a support from our community, man, it's another world. We don't need any freaking label from anywhere. We can just do it in our own,
Right.
And seeing that doing and pushing it is, respect.
Man, that's like a major knowledge bomb right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to drop a few more sound fucking bites for this one. Because the fact is, what you said is 100% right? Like, as artists, everybody's gotta keep progressing, like keep developing, don't stay the same. If you dropped an album 10 years ago, cool, sounds good. We don't want to hear about it anymore. We want to hear what you're doing now. What's next? Kevin Hart had this thing on Netflix where it was called What's Next, right? Like his stand-up comedy, Kevin Hart, What's Next. He explained why he titled it What's Next, because he was like, I'm tired of my past. Like, everybody keeps asking me what's next. They don't care about what I already did before. Kevin Hart says that people in talk shows and radios always ask him what's next. They're not asking him how was it in that movie or that movie. They're asking him what's next. What are you doing next, Kevin? So like, this is the same thing that we all need to remember. Forget the album that you dropped in 2006. Let's work on the album in 2020, and that goes for me too.
But you know what though? There's another thing. If your music is really good, it should be. It should have no time, meaning that people can go back to the past and listen to it. Just like all the tracks that I did 10 years ago, like Tere Nenome, what is it, Tera Nasha, and all this stuff. It became viral now on TikTok. The people are bringing it back now. It's like, oh, that's like 7 years ago. You're listening to it right now. So obviously, music that you do your best work, and that means that it doesn't have any kind of limit to it. But people can still go back in the past and listen and say, "Wow, this thing is good, man. This was really good." All of us here, when you listen to R&B, old R&Bs, bro, we're like, feels good, man. So much energy and so much, music it's amazing right now. Like, just stuff that's going on that is very, very similar, and
that's awesome. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Artists. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. Like, give your best with what you have right now. Keep progressing. Keep developing. Keep doing the shit. Awesome. So now we're going to move into the next game where we'll get to know each of you even better. And this next game is called Am I Lying?
I love that.
Hell yeah. So this is a game called Am I Lying? And in this game, we ask each of you, each of the guests over here, to say three things about yourself. So say three things about yourself. Two of them are truths. One is a lie. And the rest of us will guess which one is a lie. So say three things, two truths, one lie. We'll start with Stave Sonata right here.
Oh shit.
Say three, or you know what? Actually, I'll give you guys time to think. I will start. Yeah, let me do that. I'll start. I'll say three things about myself. Two will be true, and one is a lie. Okay. So I'm just popping off things off my head. You know, I didn't really think about it, but sheesh. Okay.
No, bro.
I love winters, and I like going to Canada to visit my sister, and I drive a Chevy Monte Carlo. I drive a red car. Let's just say that. Okay, so three things I said. What did I say? Yeah, you got it. Red car, Canada for vacation, and I love. Wait, fuck! I lost, guys, because I lied. I lied, okay? And then I forgot what I said.
You said you love winter. You said you love winter.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, I couldn't love winter, man. Sorry,
I'm come to Canada for your sister.
I don't like winter at all. I hate winter, so that's why I forgot. I was like, shit, what did I say? Okay, fuck it. I lost this game. But let's do Stave Sonata. Go ahead, bro.
All right. So, all right. Let's say we can say things about ourselves, right?
Right.
Like
yeah.
How we are, right?
Yeah.
So, first thing I'll say is I'm never on time, right? I'm dedicated, and I'm honest always. Which one is a lie?
Oh shit. Okay. You're dedicated, honest, and never on time.
I'm never on time.
I think never on time is the lie.
Never on time. Yeah.
I think one is the answer.
So never on time,
right?
Yeah, you're right.
If I'm not wrong,
I'm always on time because I'm like pushing people to get things.
Yeah.
There you go.
Zach knows that. Zach knows that.
That's the New York in you. You know, you're always
I know
running.
that, bro.
Let's go,
Actually, it's us. Exactly. Actually, it's us. Actually, it's us from Dhaka. Never in time. Is late. Nothing.
Well, I think it's a Bengali thing though. Never being on time. Or it could be a Desi thing.
Maybe,
We're
yeah.
just lazy, bro.
But then even like black people talk about the same thing. They say color time. So I guess it's like a non-white thing. I don't know. Post Malone doesn't look like.
Oh my god, rap.
Maybe Post Malone is
Rap.
not. He looks like he'd be late, right?
Oh.
I don't know. Seth Rogen looks like he could be late to everything. But okay. All right, that's cool. Yeah, that's nice. Master D, bro, let's hear it. Three things: three truths, one lie.
Two truths, one lie. Okay, let's see. Oh my god. Okay, I love fishing. I love to eat tomato. And let's say, wow, man.
Well, we sure know that one's a lie.
wait. So I love fishing.
Exactly, man. That's the reason I was like laughing.
And third one, let's see. I love Trump.
Oh. I think he's speaking the truth. He loves Trump.
No, actually, yeah, no, I don't. I love fishing, that's for sure. It's something that I've always. I think it's because I'm Bengali, right? We all Bengalis love to eat fish and fishing and all this stuff. So since I was a kid, I was like, when I was back home in Bangladesh, bro, I just take the rod and go and start like in a pushkuni chilo ghorer pichone, So I was like just like pop one by one, So when I came to Canada, same thing, bro. I love going fishing during the summertime. Tomato is something that I don't actually eat.
Oh shit! So you do love Trump?
No. I made a mistake. I was like, what? No. So yeah,
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. You love
Yeah,
fishing. That's awesome. See, now we got to know something about you that we wouldn't have ever known any other way. Like
yeah,
only if you posted something on Instagram while you're fishing would we know, but you know,
yeah,
we wouldn't
yeah.
probably post that. We wouldn't know. But that's awesome. That's cool. Nice one. BeatBaksho, bro. 3 things, 2 lies, and no, 2 truths, 1 lie.
This is smart. I was trying to think with all of this going on.
That's the best part. We
Man.
put you on the spot.
The first one is basically, this is on purpose. I actually have hair. And the second one would be, I won an award. And the third one is, I have a sports car.
Okay. Well, 2 of
You know,
them sound like lies, but
I believe he has a sports car.
gotta put. I believe his hair is like there, but he shaves it.
Yeah, I believe that too. So that can't be a lie. You know.
Oh, man.
Okay, so let me get this. The lie is if the sports car one is the lie, then that means you shave your hair so you can look older in your meetings, so that they trust you more. Is that it?
Well, the other 2.
Yeah.
What was the second one?
Second one, I won an award, but it's just a basic award at a sort. The random place doesn't have to be something famous.
Okay, talo udah sotto.
Yeah, but third one is, I do own a sports car in GTA.
See, there you go.
There you go.
Okay, that was funny. That was really good. Props to you, man. That was awesome. Okay, Black Zang, bro. 3 things, 2 truths, 1 lie. Let's go.
Okay, here we go. I'll keep it simple. I'm a writer. I write. Another one, I traveled in States, UK, India. And last one is I produce, I mix, and I'm the engineer.
Wait,
So,
what's
yeah.
the first one? What's the first one?
He's a writer. So
I write. Yeah, I write.
This is. I know the first and the second is not a lie.
Second one is true.
Yes.
Definitely true.
Shanto know me very well.
Ah.
So any
It's a-
guess, guys? Any guess?
I know you're right. So definitely they can't cut the first one off. What is this, man? So
Third
it's the
one, I
third,
think.
the
Third
third
one.
one.
yeah, definitely.
Yes, it's the third one. I suck with, like, softwares. I'm very stupid. I'm dumb in this game. I'm really thankful I got producers, engineers. I just go to the mic, I just rap, I'm done with my job. When it's the term of composition, production, or I'm dependent on my people. But yeah, that's how it is.
But that's how it
Nice.
should be, bro. Sometimes that's the way to do it. I mean, you concentrate on your
Like,
strength. Right?
when yeah, man. Like when my sound engineers and composers, they have a conversation, I'm like, okay, they're talking rocket science, man. It's not my job. They're talking rocket science. I'm saying,
Yeah.
I'm just dumb on this.
No, that's cool. What Master D said is also right. Like you have to do what you want to do. What you have passion for. Like
Yes,
you can't
sir.
all do every.
Yes, sir.
everything, what I
Absolutely.
mean? So
To be
that's
honest, I
Yes,
would
sir.
prefer. I prefer him this way with him writing, and if it was the other way around, that would have been really weird. That's just not right.
that's funny. Okay, Cizzy, bro, your turn. While you still have the internet, 3 things, 2 truths, 1 lie. While he has the internet, it's almost gone.
Oh, Lord.
One,
Okay, no worries. We'll come back to Cizzy. It's all good. It's all good. We'll come back to him. So while we, moving on, I want to get on to the next game so that we can continue to get to know each other better. So the next game that we're going to play is called Social Undistancing.
wow.
What was that?
Wow.
What was that?
Where did that come from?
So there you go, social undistancing. Okay, so right now the whole world
What is that?
is socially distancing themselves. But in this podcast, I want to undistance myself and get to know you guys even better. So, so in this game, what we're gonna do to socially undistance ourselves is everyone's gonna ask each guest one question, and then the guest gets. But these questions will be like very personal. Don't ask just like random, like, "Hey, what hat is that?" Ask some personal questions. Everybody asks some personal questions, and the guest chooses one question to answer. So like we can all ask him a bunch of personal questions. He can choose just one personal question to answer. Okay. So I will go first. I will choose Stave Sonata. I'll ask you one question, and then the rest of the guests will ask you one question as well. So my question to you is, are you married? So Black Zang, ask him a question.
Do you have any plans to do any show in Dhaka City?
Good question. BeatBaksho, ask him a personal question.
Would you work with a completely unorthodox genre, like I don't know, with an entire band setup, but like the weirdest mix of genres together?
Nice. Master D, what's your question?
Who are you inspired by? The work that you're doing.
Awesome. So
I like all the questions, yo.
Yeah,
I love the questions.
Yeah.
All right,
you can choose one, or you can just like put everything in one, or whatever it works. We're just trying to socially undistance and know you.
I'll answer everybody's question because I feel like the question. All right, Raf, you asked me if I was married. Yes, I am married. I do have a child.
Nice.
Zang, you asked me if I will do a show in Dhaka. I would love to do a show in Dhaka. It's just that, like, show to করতে হবে, কেউ তো shows, দিতে হবে, they get
right, exactly.
It's like we don't have that platform still in Dhaka there's like a big hip hop show. You know what I mean? Where there's like international artists that come in, and then local artists are joining in as well. So I think if we work on that thing, it'll be a good thing for everyone. BeatBaksho, you asked me, I'm sorry, can you repeat the question again?
Well, I know there's a lot of collaborations always in mind, and you would always any artist would like to do that once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
What would be the I don't know, like Mongolian throat singing? This is like unorthodox. No one thinks of it.
No,
would you work with something like that?
I'm always like looking into like different types of music, and then I'm always listening to different types of music from around the world, like just to see what sound I can work with, or even like, all right, I'll hear something and I'll be like, oh, this is cool. I don't understand it, but it's cool. Maybe I can sample things, because I have a lot of tendency of sampling things. Okay, as being a hip hopper, and sampling goes back like when hip hop started. So working with orthodox genre, yes, I'm always up for that. That's because the thing is that as an artist, as a producer, you have to get out of your comfort zone and do a certain things that can maybe bring you some kind of difference as far as the music goes. So doing those things, it's a great thing for everyone. I think everyone should do it. Working with different genres. Master D, you asked me who's my inspiration. Growing up, we watched you guys. You guys were like the inspiration. Like going back to like Bills and Kashif, we were listening to that as we were doing our albums and stuff, because you guys were like the major things at that point from Canada, and when you came into the Bengali scene, I was like, holy shit, this whole game just changed right now. It's like a Punjabi artist that was doing Punjabi now representing Bangla. You know what I mean? And it's a major, major thing for us. So you've been my inspiration, but as a producer and a lot of things, I looked up to, as when I was growing up, I looked up to a rapper. His name is DMX. I listened to a lot of DMX stuff. So DMX has been one of my greatest inspiration for me to like actually come into hip hop and stuff.
Nice.
But
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. It looks like the cyclone in Bangladesh is increasing or something. It's like we're losing guests like every second. So I don't know what's happening. But, okay, so let's move on. Let's ask BeatBaksho some questions, and I'll ask you the first question. Do you let's see? Did you skip school or classes growing up? That's my question.
Right.
Master D, you have a question for Beatbaksho?
Yeah, because I like to know from where they started the whole thing. What made you start beatboxing?
He took my question.
Gravity.
I know you did a lot in Bangladesh as far as like the whole beatboxing goes, and you know, you made a great, change in the whole hip hop industry. What drove you to like, get everybody together and, bring everything into under like hip hop and like introducing like beatboxing to people that nobody ever knew about?
All right. Okay. Since the other two aren't here, I'll just definitely start with answering right now.
Yeah.
Did I skip classes? It's funny though. We both were part of the same school, so we definitely know what the answer to that would be. But yes, I did, and got caught by the police. Getting caught by the police in the Middle East is not a good thing at all. I grew up in Saudi Arabia, and we had one tough principal, his voice still rings in my ear. So you could hear him from a mile away. So we actually went. There was this small shop inside the school where we used to buy food. We had to go over that just to skip, and we just got caught by the police and got dragged back into the principal's office, which is a bad story. Anyway, so we did skip classes, but the funny thing was we skipped classes in school, in front of our classes, in front of the teachers, and never got caught, which was weird. Anyway,
Oh man.
all right, so going to Master D. For me, beatboxing started off in a very weird. It didn't start off from beatboxers per se. It started from these fine three individuals, and I believe they have shaped me as a musician, even though they're from different backgrounds. One or different types of stuff that they did. Number one would be Bobby McFerrin, and the type of musician that he is, it's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. And he doesn't beatbox. He plays with folk, and it's mind blowing. And the second guy is a comedian who's known as someone who made 10,000 sounds. That's Michael Winslow. And I remember watching him when I was a kid. My dad used to give me the VHS for Police Academy, and just to see him make the police sounds and all the stuff he did, that's two. But then beatboxing didn't come yet. The third person is someone I used to argue about with my parents, so my dad never understood, and with my friends. No one believed it until it was on internet that Michael Jackson beatboxes, and he was the inspiration.
Interesting.
So we would mimic. I would mimic most of the songs like, these are some songs, and you know that he's beatboxing or he's using percussion from his voice. So that's how it goes. But of course, Razel and all the beatboxers like Ducky Fresh, I got to know them, but didn't know much. So musicians were more influences than beatboxers were for me. And going to Stave Sonata. Thank you for asking that question, though. Can you repeat?
I'm like introducing beatboxing to Bangladesh. Like how did the audience take it? What was the obstacle that you had to go through as being a beatboxer?
So interesting thing was it didn't come out like cholo kaste kore feli.
Right.
As Raf mentioned, that I come from a background where we did more rock and other stuff. But to be honest, I never had a scene বা সেই scene. I am part of that scene. এরকম জীবনও ছিল না। এটাও ছিল না যে চলো one day let's make a change in hip hop.
Right.
Like you mentioned একটু আগে, you love different music and it's challenging as a producer, of course, to grow and listen to different stuff, and you sample, and sampling goes way back into the 70s, the early days of hip hop, when Grandmaster Flash and everyone did the stuff they did. That's what exists now. So for me, it's the same thing. But I just turned out I love something, then I met people who love the same thing, and just carried on. But for beatboxing, I didn't know it would go somewhere, because my involvement would always be beatboxing in different genres. So I didn't know that I would make a community or work on it until I met a brother whose name is Ronesh, aka Hanix. He suddenly comes and goes like, "Let's do this." And so what I knew through my experience with different genres and my work in the advertising agency, where I, of course, Zang and I came across most of the time, I used that, and I knew what I should do instead of just going like, let's work on genres or a community to do something. I used everything that I knew that the media world that could be utilized to make a community stronger, to make a brand out of it, to promote it in the right possible way instead of going like, cholo, এটা একটা community আছে.
Right.
So you notice the rise or the work of Beatbox Bangladesh, you'll notice it starts with the proper, what should I put it? Guide. That's the right. There are proper steps.
Right. Okay. No, yeah, that makes sense, you know, and I like that. Like, so basically the answer to Stave Sonata's question is like, yeah, you face some challenges, but you always kept an open mind and wanted to add value to the community. You're just trying to grow a community.
To be honest, I wouldn't say I face super challenges.
Okay,
for me,
perfect. Yeah.
The system would be. That's how I wrote it.
You know, and I agree with you. You know, the reason why you're saying that you didn't face too many challenges is because you followed your passion. At the same time, you gave value to a community that you were growing. It wasn't about anything else. It was just about the community. And I think that's where people will win, you know? And I believe that's the purpose of this podcast. Continue with the community, feed the community, you know, just keep with the community, like see what they gotta say, or see what artists have to say, see what the guests are saying and audience is saying. And on that note, I really want to give a shout out to all the guests, man. You guys, all the viewers who are commenting. You guys are doing a great job, man. Thank you for watching. Like, shout out to Farouk, shout out to Tushar Ahmed, you know, shout out to everybody who's watching. Shikar, shout out to you, bro. Shout out to Bishal Karim, thank you for watching. Shout out to all you guys, man. You guys are watching. You're making this show what it needs to be. And so, okay, so while we still have the internet for some of these guests, we're playing the social undistancing show. So, Black Zang, we're going to ask you, all the guests are going to ask you one question. You'll answer either one or two, like answer whatever you want. Okay. Don't like at least one, answer at least one or anything you want. So my question to you, Black Zang, is that what was the best who did you love the most hanging out with when you were in LA? I'm putting you on the spot. Who did you love hanging out with? Maybe that's not good. Anyway.
You already know the answer. Okay.
Maybe I should make it harder.
Come up with
Who did you hate hanging out with in LA? That's my question. Okay, Stave Sonata, what's your question for Black Zang?
What is the most difficult situation when you face? When you're
noted.
When you're making a song.
Okay. What's the difficult challenges you face when making a song? Okay, cool. Right. Master D, what's your question for Black Zang?
Black Zang, where do you see hip hop 5 years from now in Bangladesh or in our community?
Great question. BeatBaksho?
Zang, since you,
I love this question.
I know
this question.
The type of writing that you do for most of your tracks and work. How important is research, especially when it comes to reading? Because I believe we need to take in a lot more information, not just what's around us, but at least going back in the past and trying to understand what's beyond that as well. So how important is reading or literature when it comes to writing?
Nice. Good question. Cizzy, what's your question for Black Zang? Hopefully it works for you, man. Come on.
Black Zang, your top 5.
Okay, there we go. Finally, thank you, Cizzy. Okay, Black Zang, you can choose what you want to answer.
Finally.
Yeah. So Black Zang, it's your turn.
Should I take Shizzy's question?
You can take.
Should I take Shizzy's question?
Any of these questions, up to you, bro. Whatever.
I'll answer all of them. I want to answer all of them because I'll start your question, Raf.
Okay.
Whom I hate the most around. Yo.
Crap.
So we somehow lost him, or like this is his trick, so he doesn't have to say.
He doesn't answer. He doesn't want to answer the question, bro.
Yeah, I'm right here.
That's his answer. That's his answer right there.
I'm right here.
Okay, so you were saying, go on.
Okay, should I start?
Go ahead. Yeah. Yes. Go ahead. Let's start.
Let's start.
Yes,
Please
bit
start.
suspense.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So basically, I didn't hang out with anyone whom I hate in last thing you already know, and all of these people, you, Adi, Raf, I,
Mogs, etc., etc. Okay, so you didn't dislike anyone when you were hanging out in LA. We got it. All right, cool.
let me
Answers.
do one thing.
Stave Sonata.
Let me do one thing.
Maybe you should turn off the camera. Maybe the audio only will be better option for you.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
While that's happening, um, let's while we're playing this game, it's all good. We can still ask each other questions. So like,
Okay.
let me ask Cizzy. While we still have Cizzy here, Cizzy, man, like you've been doing your thing in Kolkata for quite a while. What is the main thing you see different in Kolkata than in Bangladesh in terms of Bangla rap?
I hope I can hear the question, man. Let's ask it fast.
Okay, I hope you heard what I just said.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so I asked what do you see a difference in Kolkata hip like Bangla rap versus Bangla rap from Bangladesh?
Oh, it's definitely the quality, man. I mean, Bangladesh have been doing it for a long time, and we are just starting off in Kolkata. I hope you can hear me, right?
Yep, you can go ahead. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so basically, Bangladesh have been doing it for quite a while now, and ekhane to just shuru hoyeche. Like we have just begun with Bangla rap out here. I mean, there's a huge, there's a huge problem here because of এখানে লোকজন হিন্দি rap বেশি শোনে obviously because this is India and people prefer Hindi rap and Gali rap and all that, and it's tough for regional guys like us to sustain our music. But we are doing our best. I mean, we're just doing what we are supposed to, I guess.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah,
শোনা গেল কি কিছু?
that was perfect. Yeah, thank you.
Good, man. We have to keep up, to keep doing it.
Right. Black Zang, is it working for you? Okay. Let's move the game to asking some questions.
Yes, I'm back.
Okay, so it's working.
Clear.
You can hear.
Oh my god. This is like Chrome versus Internet Explorer, man.
I know.
Thanks, man.
And quarantine, everything is coming down, man. Zang.
I think they should turn on
The world is ending.
For real, man.
Okay, cool. So you know what? I think we'll have some issues with Black Zang. Can you hear us? Can you answer some of those questions, or should we move on?
Yeah, when I said change hobe puro scene, I didn't mean a change like this. This is not the history that I wanted to be a part of.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. You know what? Let's move on to asking questions to Master D. I think it's.
Hey, mama,
time.
hey, কিছু প্রশ্ন হবে নাকি?
Can you hear
Let's
us?
do that. Okay, man.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I can hear you.
I think we should
Can you
move
hear
on.
us? Can you hear us?
I think your
We
audio
can
is
move
good
on.
right now
Let's
without
forget the
video.
technical thing. Yeah, I can.
Okay, finally, bro. Okay, before we move on to the next thing, you can
Right.
answer one of those questions we asked you. Answer one, not all. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, I would answer Master D's question.
Okay, perfect.
I would answer Master D's question. Like he told me, like he asked me, like where do I see Bangla rap and hip hop in next 5 years? I think like Bangla music, Bangla urban language, urban music is the next big world has to. That's what I really feel like. And now যেরকম reggaeton খুব চলতেছে and Afro beats, I feel like next big thing is Bangla music. World has to see. That's what I really feel like.
I see. That's a nice one. Yeah, I like that. Like if like Bangla music, Bangla sound becomes the new Afrobeat type of sound internationally, that's gonna be epic. That makes a lot of sense. Thanks, Black Zang.
The history that really needs to come out. So
Right.
much sample on, man. My God.
This is the next big thing world have to see.
That's right. There are a lot of Bangla, Bengali instruments and Indian instruments that are not yet fully used in all of the songs that we actually can. So it's up to us. we got this. Okay, so moving on.
Right.
Master D, social undistancing segment. We're gonna ask you a few questions. So my question to you is, Master D, you were saying like, development of the industry is happening, in the Bangla scene as well as in the Desi hip hop scene. A lot of progress is happening, a lot of changes, a lot of, new artists, new age, new this, new that, right? What are your thoughts on the new age artists, artists like Bangla? What's your thoughts on them? That's my question. So, Stave Sonata, what's your question to Master D?
I'm gonna go back to your first album. Like when you were recording your albums, I know you had management, you had producers and stuff. Was there a point when you were making that album, was there a song that you had to like certain things that you didn't want to do? Like, let's say, okay, you didn't want to sing it this way, but the producer or the management was telling you that you should do it this way because we see it this way. Did you have to do a certain things that you didn't want to do? As far as like song goes.
Okay. Should I start answering now or should I
question. BeatBaksho, what do you got for Master D?
I actually have two questions. Should I go with?
I would say choose one and then keep the next one for the next segment.
All right. You know what? I think the second one is more I wanted to ask regarding the music that he did back then. But, piggybacking on what Stave Sonata said about management and everything. When you did your music with Bills and Kashif and whatever happened, say, a decade over from now, when we used to watch your videos and listen to all the music that you did back then, even in Bangladesh, I don't think we would have imagined like around this time would have such good quality in videos and production. It took time. It did. But how was it back then as, compared to how it is right now? When you make music, when you try to do shows, when you try to, do collaborations and meet people across the globe, for example, Mumsy on the other side and so on and so forth, the examples. How is it that the whole difference and the transition? That's what I want to know.
Wow, deep questions. These are very good questions. Cizzy, do you have a question for Master D? Do you have an audio? Do you have Wi-Fi?
We have a problem here.
Okay, Cizzy's coming. Cizzy's going to come back with a question. I know. Black Zang, ask a question to Master D.
Making music for the present or making music for the future?
No. From
Cizzy's question.
Master D decided that he wanted to.
What's happening?
Sorry. Okay. Sorry. 1 second.
What I want to know.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Oh, okay.
Black Zang, go ahead, and then we'll come back to Cizzy.
Cizzy.
Yeah, Black Zang, your question.
Cizzy, where you at, Cizzy?
Black Zang, where you at?
I just want to know, like, coming from Bill and Kashif, I'm right here, bro. My question was coming from Bills and Kashif when Master D got to know, like, they're like some urban scene, real raw street rap going on in Dhaka City. How was his reaction about that?
Nice, good one. Very good question. Cizzy, is it working for you? I think there's probably a delay, but okay. I think Cizzy's question.
Yo, it's mad storm over here. I gotta tell, bro. Trust me.
Crazy, man.
I bet. I know.
Okay, I'll start answering. The rest of the question first. So, Raf, your question was, what was it again? If you can.
What do you think about the new wave? What do you think about new wave artists, new everything, and also what do you think about Bangla in the new wave?
Yeah. So the new wave, it's definitely better than when I started the whole thing. There was not that many Bengali artists out there. I'm talking about Bengali artists in general right now. Mm-hmm. It was I think the only person I could think of is Mumsy, who was doing his stuff, but he was doing more in English at that time. I mean, he's an English artist pretty much. But definitely right now, man, there are quite a bit of talent out there. And you know, when you guys did this show on Desi Hip Hop with all the rappers and everything, with Gujubai
Yeah.
interviewing and everybody, oh, yo, I got to see what's going on over there, man. As far as like Desi urban, what's happening, it's just beautiful, man. I can't believe like in Himachal Pradesh that you're gonna have like such a great rappers out there. And look at this right now. It's a huge family right now. You know, if you think about it, a huge family, man. And I'm so happy to see that it has grown since I started the whole thing. Also, like when I started, and now what's everything's happening, it's just amazing. For me, it's very important though. I've always emphasized that that make sure you have your own identity, create your own taste, like your own recipe. Like just like how we cook food. We never measure food, and when we're cooking it, we just add a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and something good comes out of it. So nobody has the same recipe measuring thing, right? We have our own, so we have to have the same thing when we're creating music. Obviously, we get inspired by all the other great artists that are out there, but take the good thing that you learn from them, and just try to add your own composition to it to make it your own. So identity is very important. Like I said, even for people with like who wants to learn to sing, like you always see maybe Kishore Kumar, or you see the new generation Amit, and then you have other people. What's his name? The rock guy, from Pakistan. Forgot his name. He's a very good singer. Atif Aslam. Yeah, Atif Aslam. So what I've seen that is the new generations who want to start to sing, they copied his style or the tone even. I'm like, okay, I'm seeing too many of that right now, and so you can't differentiate. Like you want to be different from everybody else. So I say use your own tone that's God given to you, and without changing it, use that, and then try to morph into the music and create your own self. So definitely there's a lot of talent out there, and I'm really happy to see what's going on. Talk about Bhanga Bangla, man. Like actually, I just made a track for him like 2 days ago. I sent it to him. He wanted a beat. I don't know if you heard it or not, but yeah, I sent him a beat. So yeah, the first time when I saw them, I'm like on the first track, where I'm like, what the hell is this? Yeah. So first I'm like, yo, this is cool, and I actually enjoyed it. Obviously the Bangla stuff, whatever it was, like lyrically, I was like, okay, well, maybe it's not. I'm trying to understand what they're trying to do, but man, the vibe was great. I like the vibe. I think it was good. It's something new that came out, and I just spoke to Ivory that day, and I told him, bro, like his latest track is different from the ones that he did in the past. I'm like, guys, it's good because you're changing it. You're changing it up, right? And he was like very happy to hear from me, and yeah, definitely looking at this kind of new artists who are coming out doing something different. But very important, if we are Bengali artists, if we represent our community, we must make sure that whatever we do, that 80% happens to be in Bangla, because that's the route that we are trying to do, right? Like Latin music, they're not going to sing all in English. They're rapping in Latin, right? And Spanish, and they have the people to support them, and I think that's the only way we can push. Like Cizzy was saying in Kolkata, obviously it's hard because Hindi rap is like it's more popular. But man, I don't know about. I know it's true because you have Badshah, you have all the other guys who are taking over, right? But man, we need to stand up. We need to stand our ground, and we need to push our Bangla, because in India the good thing is every state has its own language, right? And if you can. It doesn't mean that it has to be only Hindi or Punjabi to be popular or to have that fame. Punjabi people, they did their thing. They are already out there. Now it's and Tamilian rappers are great too, and they're representing their culture too, man. Right. So as a Bengali artist, we should really get together and create that bond where like people will be like, oh shit, here comes a new movement, here comes a new cyclone of Bangla,
right?
Urban Bangla hip hop. What is this? So get people curious, and
I think we're getting there as well.
Exactly. And that's the only way. That's the only way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that answer, man. I love that answer. In because of time constraints a little bit, I'd like you to like. Is there any other question you wanted to pick? I would ask you to just pick one more. instead of all of the questions. I know all of the questions were really good, but if you can just pick one
Sure.
of
So I'll blend. I think Steve, you said something about the first album, right?
Right. I was, my question was like, that's something that wasn't your style, but you had to do it because the
Oh,
management or the producer said it, and
right,
then it worked. You know, when the song came out, and then it just worked. You know what I mean? Was
right.
there a particular song like that?
Yes, actually, now that you said it, it reminded me of a song called "Single."
Okay.
So I remember when I made this song and the beat, we were sitting down with Kashif and Vicious. So basically, I produced the whole track first. I come up
Right.
with the Hindi melody, and then Kashif would come in and he would put his part and stuff like that. So I remember I'm like, no, sorry, on the uh, uh, turn the music up. It was turn the music up.
Okay.
That was the track, right? So once the beat was done, I'm like, shit, what melody am I going to put in? You know, I can't figure out. You know. So I'm like, I don't want to make it sound too Punjabi or too thing. Let me just try something different. Then Kashif came to me and he's like, yo, bro, like you should be like, you have to make something like hype and stuff. I'm like, what do you mean by hype, man? Like this is already good, blah blah blah. So we always have that debate, but in the end, we find the answer after. So I just said, what? You want me to go like no 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 no? He goes, yeah, that's right. This is what I want. So I just blabbed it out. He goes, this is good, this do this. I'm like, oh shit, okay, all right, okay, I get you. So that was funny. I just made it up like this, and he goes, this is it, do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So but we always obviously came down to like we never had like that much of an issue where, oh no, this song sucks or it can't be like this, you gotta be like this. Not really. So
it was more
that's,
collaborative between
yeah, always, man. We always had that
teamwork.
that makes teamwork always,
Yeah. Teamwork is what the dream, what makes the dream work. So hell yeah, that's
Exactly.
Let's move on and ask some questions to Cizzy real quick, man, while we have him. Cizzy, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Yeah, he can. Okay, we're good. Cizzy, my question.
Yeah, I hope so, man.
Yeah, my question to you is that what do you think about the new wave in the Bangla urban, hip hop scene? That's my question. Black Zang, ask him a quick question if you got one. BeatBaksho, ask him a quick question if you got one.
Cizzy actually
it's like simple. What's your next move?
Okay, what's your
Couldn't
next?
hear that.
It's all
What
good.
was that?
It's all good. So,
What's your
Shizzy, the
next
question is, what's your next move to? What's your
Okay.
What's your next move to promote Bangla hip hop?
Nice.
Yeah.
Good question.
Shanto, BeatBaksho.
Right, it's all good. Cizzy, যেটা জিজ্ঞেস করতেছিলাম তখন you kind of mentioned that how trying to work on in the scene right now, but there's also the different languages in India. Altogether, it's kind of difficult to understand. And like we have this one region, but then again, the one language in both sides. So where do you think collaboratively, the effort of both sides, but that one language thing, one language, one love, whichever way you put it, how do you think we can work together to promote this music that we have in this region across the world? Because man, nowadays we listen to languages we can't even decipher. Heck, I don't think people even learn it at the age of 50.
For
We
real.
still listen. We always do. As like I did Mongolian throat singing a while back. I love that thing. But I don't know jack shit about what's happening. But how do you think we can work together in promoting this? Because look at this platform. Just look at us. Different people,
Right.
For real, man.
So that's my question to you.
Great question. Master D, you got a question?
Well, it's pretty much what Beat was asking him. I want to know what is in Kolkata. I don't know much about Kolkata's music. Music meaning the whole platform for hip hop. I haven't known much about it, but yeah, definitely. I want to see what would be your step on taking it to the next level. Pretty much,
Nice.
like that's
Awesome. Stave, do you have a question?
My question is like, so you have an industry of Bangladesh, you have an industry of Kolkata, right? And the hip hop industry. What would you like for the industry to offer the artist to make their life easier? Like, what do you want to see from the industry that is being offered to artists?
Okay. So Cizzy, you got a few questions. You can answer
It's a great question.
any of them.
Yeah.
You don't have to answer all of them.
So I would like to answer Yeah, I would like to answer Raf, you and BeatBaksho's question together because it's kind of on the same line. So basically, what you asked is about the current wave of Bangla sound, and I think it goes hand in hand. You know, the sound, the vibe, and the lyrics. It has to go hand in hand. I mean, we cannot really go forward with a form of music, leaving one aspect of it behind. So even if we are going forward, let's say in terms of vibe and sounds overall, but I still think it's not 100% authentic or original. So I think what I was just saying a while ago. I mean, even if we started recently in Kolkata, we are not really making music for the present. We are making music for the future. And so we are trying to establish a sound over here which is authentic to the core. I mean, the audience is same for all us like Bangla rap or Bangla urban musicians. I mean, the audience comes from all over the world, whoever is Bengali or just likes to listen to Bengali stuff. But it's not just the lyrics. It goes hand in hand with the sound that we're creating. It has to be 100% authentic. So that is my next step. I'm trying to create a sound which can be termed as Bangla rap or Bangla urban music as soon as someone tunes in. Like, this is Bangla. I mean, even if they don't understand the language, they can just hear the sound and they'll go like, okay, this is Bangla, and I like that.
Right. That's awesome. That's
So
basically,
yeah,
I totally agree with you. And, Black Zang mentioned something similar earlier, which was like, there's Afro beats,
yeah,
reggaeton. Like one day there will be a Bangla sound, like a Banglaton or something that like people will hear and be like, oh, shit, Bangla shit right there. You know what I mean? So that's sick. Thank you for
yeah.
answering. There's a comment right here that I was reading by Poonam Rahman. Thank you for posting this comment. She's asking that, what can female artists do? Like there aren't too many female Bangla rap or Bangla hip hop urban artists out there. What can one like that do to break the cycle? For me, like in my opinion, I think they should do what a Bengali artist in Bangladesh is doing. Her name is Zephyr. She's a very well-known Bengali like pop singer type, pop R&B. She sings like urban music, but in the pop side of things, not the hip hop. But do it how she does it. She does something every week. She puts out on YouTube. Like she was starting to put YouTube videos when she was very young, and she kept doing it consistently. Now today, everybody knows her name. So I think that's how a female artist should break. Do any of you guys think have anything to add to that?
I just want
It's
to.
not about male or female, I guess. Yeah,
Let's go on.
yeah,
And
go ahead, you go ahead.
I agree with that, and there shouldn't be any differentiation. It's music, and
Yeah,
there's or crew or like that.
Me, I'm all about it for women empowerment. Like, so we do need female artists there. If you have the
yeah.
passion and you want to do it, get it done. Go for it. There's no stopping you. It's important to have that. Also.
Awesome. Yeah. So like create your product, make your music, follow your passion. Doesn't matter if you're male or female. Forget that. If your parent, if like, the society says things like that, do your thing. Follow what Zephyr is doing. Just do it.
By the way, I just want to make a quick comment on Poonam Rahman, who's known as Taha right now.
One second. Somebody's got a piece going on in the background.
Someone's playing audio.
Someone's playing an audio. Can you just turn that down, please?
Oh,
Okay.
okay. As I was saying, Poonam goes way back in the early 2000s. He was one of the first artists to perform with Fuad Bhai. And so she's been making impact since then. Like every household knows her music and songs and stuff. But I believe a lot of females in general, in a particular জায়গায় খুব ঝামেলা হয়, even আমাদের beatboxing community তো, is they always think, even perspective comes in that it's a male dominated thing. There's nothing like that. There's absolutely nothing like that. Everyone has the right to come out and do their stuff. If they love it, you better do it. No one shouldn't listen to it like you can't do this. That's
Yeah,
not how it works.
I feel like the females are scared, like feeling like, okay, Bangla rap is like, it's all about male. It's not. We want to see more female artists. Like we need that, at this point. We don't have that enough. So it's just like you gotta break barriers, That's all you gotta do. So put everything aside.
I got something
Social-
to add on this.
Sorry, Zang, you were saying.
Yeah, what I wanted to add, like last year when we did this Rap Hunt TV thingy, we got lots of videos, lots of kids for the audition, and we really discovered some young blood. Like shout out to this young girl, Tuku. And she's 14. She was 14
Tuku is
last
great.
year.
Tuku is
This year
great.
she's
Yeah.
15.
Yeah.
And she rhymed hard.
Nice.
She rhymed
She's
hard.
killing it, really.
Yeah.
Gotten cogs because Anna.
Right.
Like, I mean, like, there's a lot of people working on that crap. Tuku, personally, I saw her growth. Last year she was nervous flowing on the beat, and this year she's killing it in Bangla.
That's
So
awesome.
I think it'll take time, but we'll get some gems very soon.
That's awesome.
That's what I think.
Yeah, thanks for answering. That's a great thing. And we just need to keep inspiring the next generation of musicians, male or female. That's all of that. So thank you, Poonam, for asking that question. Gave us an opportunity to help others who are watching. Excuse me. I'm going to move on to the next game, and this is the final segment. It's not a game; it's a segment where I'm gonna get recommendations for music from you guys. So this segment is called Playlist Placement.
Okay.
Okay, so playlist placement. So in this segment, I ask you guys questions about, I ask you guys for references to songs that you guys are listening to right now. As many people may know or may not know, we at Desi Hip Hop have curated amazing playlists on Spotify and Apple Music, and we update them every week. We've been doing this for more than 2 years now, and some of these playlists have blown up. So we always listen to new music. So I love suggestions from you guys. I want to hear one song or artist suggestion from you. It can be anything. It doesn't have to be Desi. It can be anything you're listening to right now that's inspiring you. So I'll ask Stave Sonata the first question. What's an artist that you're listening to and we should check out?
Well, since I think last summer I've been listening to a lot of Afrobeat stuff, like a lot of African music, and one of the artists that has I've been constantly listening to is Burna Boy. And if you guys haven't seen Burna Boy, go check him out. He's one of the dopest. He just did a song with
He's super sick.
Did a song with Beyonce as well on the Lion King album.
Nice.
That dude is majorly sick.
Sick. Burna Boy. All right, cool. Master D, what you got for us?
For me as a producer, composer, I've always looked up to Bruno Mars. So because not only he's an amazing vocalist, amazing guitarist, amazing drummer, a composer, so if you're an artist, if you want to learn certain things, if you listen to this guy, you can really gain a lot of knowledge from this fellow for sure.
Beautiful. Awesome. BeatBaksho, what you got?
I'm all up for different genres coming together, but there's one guy I believe he's going to make a lot of changes into the scene. That is the Farooq Bhai project, and he just dropped his EP with 4 tracks. My God, that just went. Psh.
And can you repeat that because you got cut off a little bit? Farooq Bhai project yourself?
I was mentioning the recently Farooq Bhai project. Okay. He dropped an EP, and I believe the way he blended in genres and tried to bring in his way of singing, then he has his way of presentation. Then a bit of hip hop, bit of this, bit of bossa nova. That was pretty interesting, and I think the whole marriage.
That's a new sound as well.
That's a new sound as well. So there are artists, I believe, who want to experiment like this, like what Farooq Bhai project did. There should be more space like that, and people should listen to.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll all definitely check that out. Farooq Bhai project. Black Zang, what's a artist or song suggestion?
Right now, I'm jamming this artist from his young. This artist, Shadow the Great, from New York.
Okay.
And totally boom bap, totally raw, dirty gutter rap. After a long time, alongside trap music, what's going on right now, trap, Latino, and everything. I find out this young kids, they're still keeping it 80s. Right. And I'm still digging 80s music, 90s music, but Shadow the Great. I think you guys should check it out. Shadow the Great.
Cizzy, what you got, bro? What are you listening to right now?
I would like to give a shout out to my homie from Kolkata. His name is Joe's Joint, and I think he's making really impactful music in Kolkata right now. I think this will impact the whole Bangla rap sound really well. So Joe's joined. I check him out. I mean, Black Zang already checked him out, but everyone else check him out as well.
Sick. Joe's
Joe is super
Yeah.
sick. When I was like, I went to Kolkata. When I went to Kolkata, we had a super jam session on the studio with the whole Kolkata scene, Cizzy, Joe, and more kids.
Yeah.
The scene is super crazy back
So
there.
you had a Joe's joint with Joe's joint?
Yeah.
Let's not talk about this. Let's not talk about this over here.
Okay, so in playlist placement, my suggestion for the community to listen to is, I was mentioning that we have a lot of playlists that we curate. One of the playlists that we curate on Apple Music and Spotify is Bangin' Bangla Rap. So go check that out. That's my suggestion to you guys. Like, it's got music from all of these guys, all of the guests that we have here today. All of your songs, like not all, like songs from you guys are on the playlist, and I believe the audience will have fun discovering everything. That's my thing. All right, cool. So, man, we're pretty much at the end of the show. This episode went way beyond what I thought it would. So, thank you guys for your time, man. Like, I really appreciate you all joining me, man. And thanks to the audience, thanks to the viewers, the comments. You guys have made it like more fun for us to hang out. So make sure you guys come hang out with us next week as well. But I want to give you guys the ability to say something to the audience. Do you have a message for the audience? If any of you do, just do that, and then we'll make it full screen and you can say something. Go ahead, BeatBaksho. Let's say.
Of course, mad love to all of the people right now making waves, and of course, Stave Sonata, Zang, Cizzy, and Master D. From whatever you're doing, you are actually putting on an impact on everyone, and of course, the listeners. But what I would like to request is everyone should keep an open mind, because I understand you might like hip hop, you might like this or that genre. But when you open your mind and listen to other stuff, you actually understand there's so much to know, so much to like, and you probably never expected your mind to actually dwell into that zone and discover. So let's try to do that and not close it. And also on the other side, I wanted to just give a shout out because Beatbox Bangla has just dropped Bangla beatboxing tutorials. We want everyone to be comfortable with what they can learn. So yeah, and thank you to all the viewers, listeners, everyone who's here.
Awesome, man. Thank you. Stave Sonata, you look like you want to say something.
Yeah, I'd like to say I'm gonna speak on cyberbullying a little, because I feel like the audience can also agree with that. As an artist, when we release stuff, it's just like it takes us a long time to create certain things, and it's precious to us when we release it. And people comes online and there's like certain comments that that are posted, and it really hurts, like an artist, as you being an artist, and it really hurts the artist, because you feel like, okay, you put in so much work, and then in a second somebody just came and said, what, this could have been done this way. But it's not for you to judge. If you could have done it, maybe you would have done it better, you know what I mean? But as an artist coming out and doing it is just like, even if you don't like the music, keep it moving. Somebody else does like the music. So if you're not supporting that artist, keep it moving. Don't comment on it. Don't just say anything. Just keep it moving. If it's not your type of music, it's somebody else's. Maybe the other person likes it. So let the artist grow. Please be respectful to the artist, and that's all I want to say.
That's sick. That's sick. That makes a lot of sense. Like there's music. I always believed for a long time that there's an audience for every kind of music, like every kind of song. There's an audience for it. There's an audience for every kind of person. In fact, so like take advantage. Like I implore the audience to like take advantage of that. You don't like something, go find your tribe. Go find what you like. You didn't like this. Oh, cool, no problem. Hit the dislike button. It's all good. It doesn't really affect us. But then go find something else. Okay, Master D, the mic is yours.
All right. So first of all, thank you everybody for being here today. This is a very I think it's a very good show that we just DJ Raf put it on. For me, it's important to know that if you have any kind of even if it's a 10-year-old kid or 14-year-old kid or girls trying to become a singer or trying to play an instrument, this is also for the parents. Please support your kids. Please support them. Even if they don't become a superstar and not making the money that you think, but just support them because this is their passion, and it's important that we all do that for girls and for boys as well. So make sure you support everybody, and this is the only way we'll be able to have this music growing in our community, and we can that way inspire others to do what we do. And that's my thing.
Beautiful. Keep inspiring everybody around you. That's the best advice. Like, that's awesome. Keep people going. Encourage them. You got friends, family who's trying to do the music thing. It's a very hard thing. Encourage them, like help them out like any way you can. It's a difficult industry, but your help and family support matters. That's awesome, Master G. Thank you very much. Black Zang, the mic is yours. You got something to say? With a delay?
Support the artist, support the artist. We put lots of time and effort in our stuff, and we always keep it.
Okay.
Big shout out to you for the love and support and making this thing happen, man.
Hell yeah, man. Okay, so I think we got some of that, which is like support the artists. Artists are doing a lot of difficult work. Support them, do the thing. Awesome. Thank you, bro. Cizzy, hopefully it works.
So, I'm just gonna say a quick thing to all the Bangla rappers, especially people who are trying to do lyrical stuffs. I would say study a lot and observe, and then try to write about everything that we are saying. Because right now, I think lyrics is a thing that we should primarily focus on, because with the vibe and everything, sounds, producers are really putting in work. But when it comes to lyrics, something is lacking. I mean, we are observing a lot of things that's happening all around us. I think we should observe a little bit more, and that should reflect in our sounds as well. And also, I would like to say this to every Bangla rappers who are pursuing Bangla rap in Kolkata or outskirts of West Bengal. You can hit me up. We can jam, cypher together. We can learn from each other. Let's do it together. Change our puro scene. Let's get it.
Ooh, nice. So that was awesome. Yeah, work with learn from your environment, use your environment to your advantage, tell those stories, and work collaboratively.
Exactly.
Thank you, Cizzy. I really appreciate all of you guys, man. Cizzy, Black Zang, Stave Sonata, Master D, BeatBaksho. Thank you guys for doing what you're doing. Keep going. And
likewise, man.
I love the work that you do, and you have audiences who really enjoy your music. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here today with us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, man. So that today, every episode we're gonna end it with an outro. So every episode, our plan is to do to play a song from the Desi Hip Hop catalog. So this week we're playing the latest release by Bhanga Bangla. It's called 4 a.m. in Dhaka, and that's the outro for this week's episode. Every week we're gonna play a new song from our catalog. So thank you. Enjoy the song. And I will see you guys next week. Come hang out with us. Peace.
আমরা তো বাঙালি বাঙালি সরবম বাঙালি বাঙালি ভাইরা তো বাঙালি বাঙালি বিদেশি গাঁজাটো গোলাপি নাকে ফুল রং হলো খিচুড়ি যেখানে যায় আসে বান্ধবী আমু বানায় মজা বিরিয়ানি আমার মেয়ে মিছিল জালাপি গাঞ্জা গন্ধ হলো শুটকি সবজির সাথে চানা পুরি ভর্তার সাথে ডালা আচার তিনটে ভাইয়া ভূতের বাচ্চা সকালে উঠি খাই পরোটা আলু ভাজি লাউ করলা আমরা তো রাজা রানী সুন্দর মেয়ে বেগুনি শাড়ি আমাদের লজনে লজে কি টাকাটা কিছু না খরচ কি যেটা চাও আমি কিনবো দরকার হলে আমি নিবো বড় বিড়া ওরা ইন্দুর ঢাকা থেকে লাথি দিব কবরের ভিতরে আঁকি নানুকে বুকে তো রাখি থাকাতে থাকা তো নানি একটা দুইটা তিনটা বাড়ি তিনটা পাখি 9টা গাড়ি আবু মতো মুখে দাড়ি আমার গান শোনা তো পারে না আমারও মাথাতে থাকে না আমারও মাথাতে থাকে না মানুষের কথারও লাগে না আমার তো ফাজমি করে না তোমার কামে পড়ে না তুই হাতে মেহেদি তো পড়ি সমানায় পড়ি না ঘড়ি পৃথিবীর সব জায়গায় গরিব সকালে নামাজে পড়ি কে বলে কি আমি জানি না জানি না কে বলে কি আমি জানি না
গাঞ্জা খাই ক্যানাবিস গাছেতে উঠে তো পাই তোমাদের এটা তো নয় সকালে উঠে তো খায় আমার গাঞ্জা অনেক জোরে তাকে তো দিলে তো বাবা অনেক মজা করে খাবা অনেক মজা করে খাবা
আমারও মাথা ঠিক থাকে না 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 কে বলে কি আমি জানি না জানি না কে বলে কি আমি জানি না
গাঞ্জা খাই ক্যানাবিস গাছেতে উঠে তো পাই তোমাদের এটা তো নয় সকালে উঠে তো খায় আমার গাঞ্জা অনেক জোরে তাকে তো দিলে